I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA Review. Today is July 25th, Thursday, 2024. Hope you had a good day today. So, we pushed up, we opened up, and oh, that's the new candle. Yeah, we opened up and just headed straight down, and decided to wipe out the rest of that daily imbalance. This opening range gap that's here from June 4th, and then we bounced literally on the tick of a opening week gap, which that week gap is from May 19th, Sunday. So here's the thing. Yesterday, and the trade yesterday panned out, still panned out pretty nice. When we bounced from here, came up, but we didn't take that high out. Remember, if you watch yesterday's video to make sense, I was saying I need to take that high out, and we did not. So it was bumping up here a couple times. It was like $8 grand each time, and then when it broke, and I was hoping for this to be as support, and then when this popped up, and then I was kind of a late night for me last night, but decided to kill the trade at $6 grand, and still a great trade. But sure enough, look at this. Woke up, price lower low, lower high, all the way down, and then 9:30 was here. It's a 5 minute, so 9:30 we opened up here, and we had 3 drives right here. 1, 2, 3 right here, and then we started selling. I sold right there. Why I sold that? Because we did take out liquidity here, and you can see the structure here. You can see that's a lower high, that's a lower low. These are lower highs. That's the lower low because it broke that low, right? Then that's the lower high, right? And that's the lower low, right? And then when we came up here, yes, you would think this is a lower high, but guess what? We never made a lower low. So that's the protective lower high right here that I'm pointing at. And in 8:30, we had news, and 8:30 wicked down, took out that low, did not take out that low. Okay, so then that pushed up, right? Pushes up for a high, and then one more high, but guess what? It didn't take out this high. So it's still bearish, but you probably buying in the sense that you want to, come and wipe out the liquidity. We want to be bullish because obviously we're in a super deep discount, right? Not sure if it's going to come in to seal the rest of this price down here. And I mentioned it yesterday, very clear. If it breaks, if it still comes below here, I'm still buying, right? But and I'll explain in a second how I maneuvered, and I had to have a short day anyway because I had some final medical stuff I did, and packing, and a bunch of personal stuff as well, barbering and shit. Because I'm leaving tomorrow, we'll be gone till next week. So, all right, so let's get into it real quick. This is a 1 minute though, and as you'll see here, at the time, I'm hoping that this is that support. So right now, we've already came low. I've explained this is the 8:30 right here. You can see the 8:30, and I'm anticipating it to retrace back first to then buy up at this time, this 9:30. So I was already in before the trade happened, right? And no trades before 8:50 obviously is one of my rules, but there's no point to be involved with 8:30. I never understood why people want to be involved with 8:30. Like, I used to do it myself and try to catch the wick and all that, and it's just like, bro, like, for what? Like, as you see, that didn't matter. That didn't matter today, right? You're not missing anything. It's like, oh, I'm going to miss the bottom. Okay, well, clearly you didn't, because we'll just wipe that liquidity out. But anyways, it's just better to use it for data and then be on the right side of the market, because the 8:30 will put you on the wrong side of the market, and that's for sure, But in general speaking, I'm looking at this as we're at 50% of the actual daily imbalance. I got that baby blue line in the background, and that's for the week down candle. You got to watch yesterday's video so it makes sense. I don't want to have to keep going over things, right? But I'm just highlighting the open of this down candle that we're sitting in, and is it going to hold for support or not? But anyways, so I've already saw 8:30 wick that. I'm like, okay, cool. Like this is the bottom. I'm like, okay, so when I'm up here, when I see these three drives, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a sell because we just wiped out that liquidity, and I want to retrace back. Where if you take a look on the 15-minute when I screenshot it, I mean it's a purely wide open candle right there of an imbalance, right? So I'm like, okay, let's take this sell. And let's take this sell into here. Where? And that would wipe out this liquidity. Got a nice speaker going. Beautiful target and beautiful trade. All right. And that was it. Now, once this happened, I know it was going to come down a little bit more probably. Don't know exactly. And then I want to try to buy up to be bullish. Let's go to the next trade here. And at this moment, I'm still bullish right here. And I don't have a shift. And this is where, me trading like this might be a problem for some. But if you're taking the profit, I don't care. I'm looking for base hits, right? And I've been mentioning it very clear. Yes, I would like for a home run to go through, but I have to take these base hits. I've been mentioning it for the last, even when we've been dropping hard, I said, you just got to be stuck to that, right? I don't mind, even the trade I took yesterday and it didn't pan out. You got to remember, it still panned out. It bounced from there and it still went up to $8,000. Or in my case, or in normal case, 100 points for whatever leverage you got. So you got to remember, the point of this game is not also just direction. It's not like, obviously we want to have the right direction and trend and all these things, and we want to we want to foresight, forward think the market, but we don't really know where it's going to go. So, but when you have key levels and you're dealing with key levels, we're going to get a reaction from those, and those are our trades. So I hope you understand that, right? And that's kind of also the backstory of my trading as well. I don't really talk about that a lot, but key levels you're gonna understand in this video why I look at key levels and I don't need to, get home runs. I know I'm gonna get trades off these levels. So, anyways, that being said, that's why I'm a turtle soup trader, so to speak, whatever what you want to call it, right? I'm a liquidity rate trader. Anyway, so I catch the trade here, I get out, all right here. Price does three drives. 1, 2, 3. I'm inside the wick. Now I'm tagging a previous week gap. I'm also hitting the open of that week again. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's take this trade. I get filled here. So we push down, and then we close, and then this pushes down. This candle right here gets right into that wick right there. Can't miss that wick. And then by the time it shoots up real quick, I get filled. And then I like to be on the right side of the movement. So the price is coming down and then it's going up, right? So I want to be on the right side of the momentum, because the reason why that's important is because for obvious reasons is the stop, is my stop loss, because I don't want to be on this side of entering and stop loss. I want to be on this side, right? On this side of the movement. Why? Because when it's moving in momentum, my stop loss can come right underneath, right? And then I'm not worried about it really getting hit even, right? So, does it get hit? Sometimes, yeah, of course. But the point, I hope you understand the logic. So here, the price shoots up here, right? And I'm like, okay, that we have wiped out enough sellers here. I'm not trying to even take out this high. I understand that this is I made a range right here, right? This range, and it's not the right range, but it's an internal range. But I was just measuring this range, and sure enough, I see that we're at a 70 and a 79, right? So I'm like, okay, let's take this trade. And I'm just going to wipe out some sellers. If it's bullish or bearish, this has got nothing to do with direction at all. This is, in general speaking, logic of price. So price shoots up here, and the price was doing way better than this 4,000. By the time I screenshot and took it out, this thing came against me. I took the trade out, but like I'm really over screenshotting. I don't want to screenshot anymore. I lose shit ton of money from screenshotting. And the best I can do sometimes is when it's full blown pushing up. But like it's literally $1,000, $2,000 sometimes each trade. It's like, bro, I'm not in this business to screenshot for you anymore. I'm really not. So, anyways, that being said, as soon as I take this thing out, man, it whips right back. So, anyways, let's go into the next trade. And you'll see this is my home run, I guess you could say. So, what do? So we now I do change the chart up a little bit. I drag over the daily imbalance that's in the blue. The daily, not daily, that what do you call this? The opening range gap that was never filled or sealed here. That's in the background. That's this yellow. That's what's been always on my chart here, over here, from this day here, June 4th, right? See that? So that opening range gap here dragged out. It was a little box like this one at first, right? But now I dragged it out so I can, now we're working with it because we're coming fucking lower. But in this case, so when this trade came down and broke that low, now it's like, okay, we're too low, right? Bodies are still respecting that wick though, which is the issue, right? So when the price came down, I said, okay, let's take another buy because I was still married to being bullish right here. But guess what? What's something that I overmissed right here? What's something that I did not see? If you want to push pause, if you want to take a look right here, how did I go wrong with trying to buy again right here? It's the middle line right here, the 50% of the daily imbalance in blue in the background. See these lines? These are quad levels, right? 25%, 75%, 50%, right? But we're bumping against the bottom 50%. This is telling me that we're going to be pushing down to sell into all this, which is when you come below here, what is your objective? Well, you got the last 25% of the daily imbalance here. You have the opening range in the yellow, it's in, or orange, or what, or yellow, yeah, yellow in the background. See here? From here to here, right? You see that. Can't miss that, right? This level. So they have that, right? And then underneath that, what do you have underneath that? Well, then you're looking at liquidity on the left side of the chart, which you can't probably fit on your screen. And then I have these weekly gaps. Okay, so real quick. So when this trade happens, right, 9:30 pushes down. I take this buy, right, and then comes down, and then I try to take this buy again because I saw 50% respecting, and the bodies were still there. So if I just like ballpark it, you can see that we're sitting right there, right? Plus, I had the previous week gap sitting on that. So it was just an illusion, really. But what I missed was the 50% of this red line is in the middle. That was a fucking sell. This was resistance. We came below it and we're bumping. Look at the candles. Up, down, up, down, up. And I thought that was strange. And I told myself, I'm like, dude, this is pretty low. Number one. And we didn't bust up yet. Something's wrong. Sure enough, shot down. So I'm like, fuck. As soon as it's going, as soon as it broke, like here, I knew I fucked up, and I knew it was selling, and I should have just sold, but I'm like, sit on my hands. So the price came down. Price is coming down, right? This is over here. This is the 25% of the daily imbalance. Blew through it. So there's no like rejections. We're not stopping. Nothing, right? We just took out liquidity. Nothing's going on. All right. Then we come down here. We're floating. This low comes up. All right. And I mean, there's nothing happening. There's no rejections from anything. I mean, except for the top of that opening range gap right there. You can see that. But I mean, there's nothing for me to buy here. Is what I'm trying to tell you. So again, price breaks down, blows through the daily low imbalance. All right. And then we pop back up. All right. I end up taking this buy. All right, I just a little antsy and thirsty, and I assumed because we had not sealed, but because we had we're at the bottom of the daily imbalance. I figured this was kind of like a raid, and then we'd start pushing up. Sure enough, that failed and came back down. No problem, small loss, and I even managed the risk as it was coming down. Right, but then what did we do? We pushed through the opening range gap, and at this point, I see that we got a fucking clear weekly gap right there. Now, it was a struggle because of all of these weekly gaps, right? Which is a lot. And someone would say you shouldn't even have that many on your chart, and I shouldn't probably. But at the same time, it's no problem because I understand the precision that I look for. So sure enough, what is it? And this is a lot of fucking gaps too. And I also mentioned, if you remember yesterday's video, I was also mentioning this gap right here. And I made it in purple there. And I was unsure if we were going to hit that or not. But what did we do? Well, we came. Let me go to this. So we blow through it. I'm sitting back. Now we're oversold here. We end up getting to this first weak gap that's sitting there, and it taps it. Boom, rejects it. And then this next candle comes down, taps it, starts rejecting. It's coming up. The instinct in myself says, push the button right away, right? No hesitation. You can't have hesitation in this game if you really know what you're doing, right? And sure enough, I get filled. And I was like, bro, what? And it just kept flying. And also keep in mind, dude, these candles are massive. Each 1 minute candle right now is like 40 points or something stupid. So the market was moving at huge volatility. Let me go to a 1 minute real quick so I could just see. And I got to be done because I have to go to sleep early. I have a 6 o'clock flight, man. I don't know why my wife makes these fucking early ass flights, dude. So 9:28 and 9:28. That's 30. That's almost 30 points. That's 10. That's 30. That's 40. That's 46. That's a 46 point fucking candle. Like, that's crazy. Damn near. So, huge volatility. But anyways, I love this type of movement because I thrive in these type of movements. Like, I'm a sharp shooter. But anyways, I get filled. Price takes off. Huge engulfing. That's what you're looking for. You could have entered as soon as it closed. But like, I'd rather like get the momentum and then put my stop loss real tight. And 10 points was as good as I could get it. I mean, that's like, it should have been more down here. So it would have probably been another 5 at the least. But like, this is just the way it panned out. Anyway, what am I doing here? I'm taking this buy, and I have to be done. I'm not trading after this trade. Anyways, I'm not trying to hit this home run up top. I'm trying to take it to the break. When we broke this low and we clean broke through it right here, see how we break through it? See the imbalance right here? Can't miss that. I can draw it for you. Can't miss that, right? All I'm trying to do is take this trade up to here for push out artists and buyer's remorse and basic support resistance. I mean, I'm literally waiting for it to hit this first 25% level, because this 25% level plus that low, which is there, are equal, right? It's sitting on it. Sorry. So that's my target. That's my main target because it's a very high confluence area. As you can see here, I'm talking about this low right here from 420. Nice number. 420 right there. So 420 we blow right through, which is also sitting. Remember, this 420 bounces right off of that 25%. So we were doing lower lows and lower highs, right? We came in, we used it as resistance, the top of the imbalance, plus we had the opening gap. Then we shoot down, we play around at the 25%. We go right, we bounce off the 50 for a hot second. I'll blow it up for a second. I can't make this shit up. You see how we tag it right there, 50%, and then we blow through it. Then we come underneath it at that level of the weak open, that's marked in the baby blue, plus a weak previous gap. All right, and then we shoot straight to that 25%. Why is it doing this? Then we shoot to that 25%. That first, don't get lost with all these lines. It's not hard. This blue, this is the daily imbalance, and it also is overlapping with this. This orange in the background, this is part of this orange. This is the imbalance from here to here. So this is still blue as well, but because this orange is in the background, I'm going to delete this shit for a second. I shouldn't. I'm just going to move it over. I need to be done. I should need to be done. But see how we hit that 25%, right? I want to make sure that I do this right? So hit that 25%. I mean, to the head, right? Look at the bodies laying on it, man. I mean, come on. So, and I'm explaining to you why I'm in this. Why am I taking it out right here? Because of us blowing right through and to the head. Now, big trade only because of the volatility, and the size of these candles are massive. Anyway, what else do you see here? Well, you see this is an inversion imbalance right there, right? So price digs in and holds in there, right? I don't have to even draw it. I'm not even drawing it. I'm so excited. I'm ready to fucking go. But holds as support, pushes up again, pushes, comes back down onto this down candle. Can't miss that right there. And then you see that, and then shoots up for this level. Now, when we got here, I was like, bro, you should hold it. We're going all the way up. And sure enough, it fucking did, man. But I had to be done. And then I got some, it's kind of bad news. I was waiting for my last test results, and I did get confirmed with a chronic disease. So it's kind of like an autoimmune variation of something. And I literally have to be vegan now. I can't fucking smoke. I can't drink. I can't have, I can't have no fun. I don't even know how I'm going to deal with life anymore. I can't even fucking have pizza. I don't know. It's like so stupid, man. We'll see. I might go on a big like 30-day, like to 90-day fast or something dramatic just so I can kill whatever is in it. Or, it's very possible. It's a long conversation. Shouldn't even be having it here, but I want to tell you that I'm going to be facing some new challenges, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll be honest with you, man. All the money in the world means nothing after today. And I've always had great health. And when they told me this shit, man, I fucking cried, dude. And I was like, what? Like, for real? And then and it's like chronic, meaning for life. But I studied from scholars, and I do approach the holistic route. But that's how I found out trading was rigged, because the same people who are running the markets are the same people who are in control of the pharmaceutical, you know, direction, right? But so I know that I got to see if I can beat this by pure fasting and certain foods like soursop and a bunch of other stuff. But anyways, so whatever, man. And bummer news to go on a trade before I start on my trips, but I had a feeling this day would come in a way. But I partied my whole life, to be honest. So anyways, man. So we'll see. So anyways, the price moved up, man, and then you can see the support. I'm not even gonna draw this all out, man. We get to the 50% here of that daily imbalance, and now we're looking to hold it as support. What does it do? It goes up to the gaps here, to the you can't miss that, and then shoots up. Where does it go? Shoots up to that in daily imbalance. You see that? It's just right here only. You see that? And then there's another one up here. So tags that bottom, and then it sells off hard. Look at this. Yo, this is dirty. I'm just going to tell you this right now. Fuck. This is dirty. This is super, super dirty. For them to come all the way back like this, like, is that the shift above this high? And then this is the higher low to now push up? I am assuming that, right? Because that is also a shift. But at the same time, this could just be one big retrace. Because if you look on this 1 hour, for example, it's like, yeah, it's structure, but it's not real structure. And it's just like this lower high to lower low. That could be a lower high, and then we come down for another lower low. And very similar to this price action. If you recall this, I made my biggest trade at this time. I'm going to blow it up real quick. Remember this right here? Remember this right here? So I took this buy and it was a $40,000 trade. I took this buy all the way up to here, and then it looked like it was the bottom. And what did it do? It came down one more time. So I'm thinking that that's what we're gonna get, and then we're gonna get some news that kind of like wicks again, and for anybody to try to go up, and then the week's over, right? So man, and I'm always fucking missing the big moves in days, man. Like, I swear, if it's either family or if it's me leaving or if it's fucking something personal, it's always something, dude. It's crazy how it happens. I see it all the time. But are we going to get a push up? So, because when we pushed up like this, we should have stayed up, right? Like, I'm okay with it coming back down, but like, that's pretty deep. Now, as you see here, we push up, but we break a high, right? So here, we didn't break no real high. I mean, there is some structure in there, but I don't know, man. Like, we rejected that daily imbalance pretty quick, which is over here, which is talking about the talking about the 11th of June. So are we gonna? So what I'm saying is we pushed up and we retraced back, right, and then we bought back up. Remember, this was a 61. I already remember we bought from here, but this push back down is pretty big, and I don't think maybe they're not done with the bottom side. Maybe we need one more push down, and that would include getting into that gap that I have highlighted in purple or whatever color is, and then you know, just maybe wiping out some of these late artists and maybe even tagging here. I don't know. This low right here, I personally don't see how they're gonna come down there. I just it's pretty low. But oh, and also we're inside this weekly wick. Sorry, the weekly candle. This weekly candle, and technically it has all right to come to 50% of the candle. So the candle has two levels. There's 50% of the entire top to low, and then there's 50% of the body to body, right? All right, so it's a very similar vicinity, and we are tagging it now. So do we end up now pushing up right now and use this as support as an extreme, as option 1, or option 2? Listen carefully. Option 2, does it tag this wick of this week? See this week right here? Do we mitigate that wick, which is very close to that gap in purple, and then take off? Or are we blowing through that? I don't see blowing through it. Has all right to come to but if it breaks that week right here, if it breaks this weekly low, forget it. I mean, I think we'll be really bearish. But anyways, those are the levels. I can't draw them all out, man. I really can't, because this chart will look fucking crazy. And it already is crazy. So, but you'd have to have a nice response back, and this would be like a weird looking double bottom, and then you'd have to push up to be, you know, coming up. Otherwise, coming for one more low would make sense. And obviously, I'm not even going to be trading. I'll be in a plane, so fuck this. But I know, I'm sorry I made this video long again. But here you'll see higher highs here that ended up pushing us down. I wasn't even looking at the chart. I was like, came back to the chart like, damn, this is crazy. Hopefully that's the shift and we end up being bullish. But we also had higher lows here, and that's why I also took that buy when we hit that weekly gap. We had lower lows here with S&P and Dow, S&P and Nas, and then we had higher lows here. So that was what, you know, it turned out to be. Dollar is also just fucking around. Doesn't know where it wants to go, and then Dow bounced off of that weekly level again. Previous week, yeah, look at that, to the lip. I mean, you can't make that up. And then shot all the way back to retrace to wipe out some of those sellers. I mean, and then that's also what made us funky with our market. So I don't know, man. I think the retracement isn't done. So I mean, especially looking with Dow, we're still bullish, right? But I mean, this retracement I don't think is done. We'll see. We'll have to have a big response, and then. Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. Like, that's fucking rough. That's rough. Just go just go touch grass, man. I don't even know what to tell you. But yeah, I mean, we're looking like we're gonna use this as a support very soon. This area here, and I think that's what Nas is kind of doing. You see how we're over here and we're tapping now. We're tapping this high, this support here, which was the high of March. Yeah, right? Yeah, it's the high of March. That's the highest level, right? Yeah, the high of March right there. So are we like using this as support, and then we're kind of mingling down just a little bit more before we go back up? I think that's what's going to be happening here. All right, you guys take care, and God bless.